the message or the mandate of the committee is to try and stimulate that kind of dialogue. There hasn't been much of a conversation in that regard. It certainly goes beyond the mandate of our current committee, us as administrative employees. So I think what you're talking about, though, is more of a regional or a governance model type of outcome. And certainly that's always been talked about in some circles. And an effective way to curtail sprawl and control some of the growth is to have that type of structure in place. But that's a dialogue, obviously, that goes beyond the mandate of our committee. But Leanne might want to add something.
Just to add to Tom's comments, that in the city official plan, we have policy, section 10.5 of our official plan. The county official plan has a section policy called 411. And basically, it's in a general format that speaks to when we're doing these types of official plan reviews that we're exchanging, we're collaborating, we're working with the county and they're working with the locals, and we're trying to get more of a regional approach to those kinds of exercises. And we have sharing of information that we do on population projections and information so that when those settlement areas are designated, that they're done in a way that's consistent on a regional model. Even though we don't have the formal structure as such, we can still facilitate that information sharing and that opportunity to be involved in those types of planning exercises that have long-term policy implications.
Okay, I know that the city and the county engaged in a regional transportation master plan, and there was a couple of hiccups in that plan from the city's point of view. But again, it's something that sort of speaks to this entire issue of, I guess, smart growth and sustainable growth in transportation. Could you comment a bit about what's in that regional transportation master plan that is good, as opposed to perhaps Manning Road?
We're going to arm wrestle who gets to take that one. I think the answer to that is that it probably goes beyond the knowledge of the committee itself in terms of the contents of the plan. It's probably a question that would be best directed to transportation type people.
Okay. One other question, and I'll have a motion, Your Acting Worship. It's talking about, I think on page 3, you're talking about choosing to buy goods grown, made locally, and also improve our environment by reducing need for long-distance transportation while supporting local farming and manufacturing community. How do we move towards that? Is that I guess you can't force people not to buy produce from Florida or Germany or wherever. But what do you do other than education in trying to achieve that goal?
I know that the committee has invited Matthew Fisher to an upcoming meeting, and we're going to be actually having that discussion with Mr. Fisher to see what tools that we have, what instruments as planners we can incorporate into our day-to-day planning exercises as well as our long-term policy. Obviously with the planners, we're doing both with the policy side and the implementation side. So we hope to explore that further. We don't have any examples specifically in terms of the accomplishment list, although they are looking at some particular opportunities to study this further. So I would suggest to you that that's a question that's out there, and we're going to have to review that further, and hopefully in our subsequent annual report we'll have an answer to give you.
Just supplementary to that, Your Worship, members of Council, it's something that's fairly common now in the United States, and it's being recognized as something that can be done through the local economic development group. But it's not just in the hands of the local municipality or local government. It's something that the merchants in the area have to recognize as being a goal. Much like the City of Windsor has done in many ways in terms of buying North American vehicles, it's something that has to become attractive. It's recognized it can't be done everywhere. But at the same time, if from a local economic development standpoint you can push the concept of the importance of supporting the local economy, it has been shown to be embraced in other municipalities and has been successful.
Councillor Valentinas.
Thank you. When is the next meeting of this particular group?
Actually, the next meeting, I believe, is March the 7th.
March the 7th? Okay. Has this particular group commented on Greenlink?
No, they have not. It's not been on the agenda.
Okay, and would it be possible perhaps to have it on your March the 7th meeting in view of the fact that it touches on the environment, it touches on intercooperation on planning issues between municipalities, and I'd like to think that it pretty well hits all of the things we're trying to achieve here in terms of trying to protect, as I said, the the environment, decreasing traffic in municipalities, etc.?
That could be added as a delegation, or as an item for discussion. We are asked to provide input into the agenda items, so we could raise that as an item to be included on that agenda.
Okay, because I would like to think that, putting the politicians aside, that from a planning point of view, I'd be very, very interested to hear what the concerns would be, if we're supporting Greenlink or not supporting Greenlink in terms of that. So if there's any hesitation, then I would certainly, love to hear that. Now, I know that some of the municipalities in this report have made reference to the fact that they have these ongoing meetings and liaison with DRIC. So they're certainly very, very much aware of it. And therefore, I think it's in keeping with what they're already doing that this particular initiative be brought forward. So I'll leave that with you. Thank you.
Can I have a motion? Councillor Dilkins.
Move the administrative recommendation.
Councillor Halberstadt supports the motion. Any comments?
I would just like to, I certainly support the 1 and 2, but I would like to add a friendly, if possible, that these principles, these sustainable growth management principles, that we request that Essex County put it on the table at an upcoming one of our upcoming joint meetings for discussion.
So friendly? Okay. I have Councillor Geniak.
Thank you, Your Acting Worship. I did have a number of questions, but that's okay. I will support the motion because I am incredibly impressed. I assume that we will be seeing a number of policy and development suggestions coming as a result of this report. I would also like to think that annually we could start seeing a report from our planning department outlining some options that council might want to pursue in that coming year in terms of making our cities more sustainable and livable.
I apologize, Councillor Geniak, if I missed you earlier. Do I have anyone else? Councillors? Okay, all those in favor? Motion carries.